Hi everyone, this is Yuka from Sakura Sketch Japan. In this video, I will introduce you to manga supply shopping in Tokyo as requested, and then as usual, I will showcase you my manga illustration process. And today's video, I divided to 9 easy to follow chapters. You will see steps like the rough sketch outlining the composition, the sketching of hands, the face and hair sketches, G-pen inking for the hands, and detailing the hair. Each chapter focuses on the specific parts of the illustration. You can skip to the chapter where you are most interested in. Enjoy the process at your own pace. So, let's head to the Tokyo and manga supply shopping with me. Hi, hello everyone. I am on my way to go shopping for some of art suppliers. There are so many screen tones. Look at this. And for papers for manga drawing, there are so many types of I chose this one from here. Probably the price is better than the one I found here, and this paper is lightened down. It's great for tracing, and also those tools. There are so much. Here's the type of pen. You can get a lot nibs of the pen here. You can choose the kinds from one piece of it, and you can also get the bulk of it as well. This is great and convenient, and you can get the you would choose this just pen. They got white as well, which is something I use, and other inks as well. Also for beginners, they have this box of manga set. This is so cute. So I will start drawing. This is G-pen I always use for inking, which allows flexible lines, and which is more thick lines, named Maru-pen. And as the sketch process, I use just a pencil and eraser. So let's just start drawing. So today's illustration, I am thinking about capturing a character who is their first time using this G-pen following this experience of going to the art supplier shop Sekai-Do. So I'm thinking maybe the character is trying to draw with using G-pen the very first time. See what kind of picture, what kind of design I can at the end of it create. And I am thinking about drawing male character this time, probably boy or just teenage boy would be something I am considering about. When I draw original illustration, I always have a clear image in my mind of the composition and how I want the character to look before I start drawing. For this illustration, I wanted to draw attention to the character's hands, so I planned the hand composition in advance as well. I am carefully drawing while considering where the joints are and which parts should look soft. I am drawing a hand holding a G-pen. I hope I can convey the contrast of the hard G-pen being held by a soft, delicate hands. Well, every artist has their own drawing style, so I stick to the method that feels most comfortable for me. If you have a favorite sketching method, let me know in the comments. After the rough sketch, I take a step back to look at the whole drawing and adjust the balance of the hands. So, this is the first phase of the sketch. I just, without really think anything, but draw down what the designing I wanna put this illustration. I'm not even considering the facial expression of the character and even the what kind of style of eyes this character have or even hairstyle, just the position of the body and hands I considered and wanna put in this illustration. And from now on, I'll be using this eraser and drawing much clear lines to make it easier when I do inking process. Here comes the second stage of sketching. When tracing and inking, thick lines from the rough sketch can be confusing, so I try to draw an illustration as close to the final version as possible. Of course, I will carefully draw every detail from the wrinkles on the hands to the nails. At this stage, if I don't create a composition I'm satisfied with, the final result won't turn out well, so I spend a lot of time on this sketch. In this illustration, the hands are quite complex, so I've redrawn them many times. It would save so much time if I could effortlessly draw perfect hands without needing to redo them. Unfortunately, I haven't mastered that level of skill yet. I will carefully draw the right hand with the same level of attention. When holding a pen, the fingers intertwine a complex way. I focus carefully on which finger and which joint are in the foreground as I draw. This is the tricky part. I make sure to properly emphasize the fingers supporting the pen. Once I've drawn these two fingers and the G pen, the remaining fingers are easy. They just need to be lightly folded. When you draw hands carefully, the overall quality of the illustration improves dramatically. If you start drawing the hands, it motivates you to carefully and meticulously draw the other parts to match them, so give it a try. Of course, I also redraw the face carefully during the second sketch. The key is to create an expression that matches to the character's body movement. I do a lot of manga illustration copying, so I always struggle with deciding what kind of eye style to draw for my original illustrations. This time I went with a basic design, something safe that won't go in a bad direction. The hair is definitely inspired by Takeshi Obata from Death Note. In fact, I've done so many studies of his illustrations that I've reached to a point where I can draw hair in his style without even referencing his work. So here's the sketch. What do you think? I'm never really good at drawing boy's face. Is he look just a boy, teenage boy, or even elementary school, middle school boy? I'm constantly drawing, but I feel satisfied with how he gathered energy on drawing his very first illustration. And I am also super excited about using my G pen to inking this illustration. So let's move on to the next part. When using a G pen, I tend to press too hard, so I try to focus on using a lighter touch. For action scenes or when a character's face takes up a large portion of the canvas, I like to apply more pressure on canvas to create thicker lines. However, since the character in this illustration is quite small, so I plan to avoid using overly thick lines. Is my drawing pace pretty slow? When I watch videos of actual manga artists drawing, they move their pens so quickly, yet create such clean illustrations. It's probably because they need to update a new chapter of their manga every week, so speed is essential. That's one of the reasons I could never become a manga artist. When I film and edit videos of myself drawing, I notice a lot of things. Starting from the sketching stage, I realize that I don't draw long lines. I tend to step at each turning point, then draw the next section to the next point, repeating this process. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it makes editing more time-consuming and might also be why my drawing process takes so long. For my next illustration, I think I will try drawing slightly longer, continuous lines. When inking, I always start with the hair before drawing the face. This is because the hair layers are above the face. However, I only do outlining the hair at this stage, as I wanna add detailed decorations later after drawing the face to ensure the balance is right. For the hair, I use a fine pen, specifically a maru pen. Here's a tip I often share with guests at my cultural experience activity, Sakura Sketch Japan. When drawing manga-style eyes, the upper eyelid is usually drawn darker and thicker than the lower eyelid. You can learn many other illustration tips too, so if you visit Japan, come and visit my home. The inking process is now halfway done, and from here, I will move on to the final details. I am really not good at shadowing hair with solid black. Here's an example of a previous piece where I couldn't get the hair shadowing right at all. So this time, instead of fully blocking out the hair, I plan to keep it simpler and more precise by adding shadows using only fine lines. I think this method is a great way to emphasize the flow of the hair and the way light hits it. For areas where you wanna fill in with black, layering fine lines to build up the darkness can make the final piece look more polished and detailed. Once both eyes are fully drawn, I take a step back to view the entire illustration and make any necessary adjustments for balance and harmony. During eyelashes, the character's impression changes dramatically. I will add some effects now. Since the character is putting a lot of focus on the pen they're holding, I will draw lines in the background to direct the viewer's attention there. For some reason, I couldn't find my ruler, so I will be using a pencil instead.